Good afternoon, students. I am your host, Oyerinde Tunde Daniel, and in this YouTube PowerPoint slide class, we'll be looking at 40 questions which are drawn from the topic that we've covered from year 7 through year 9. And as usual, I will advise you to go through this YouTube as many times as possible. It is in doing that will get yourself familiar with the question. And why I read the question, I will make analysis of the answer and tell you the right or the correct answer. And when we meet subsequently in our Zoom class, I will ask some of these questions, and it will be my joy if all of you will answer the question correctly. So I'll quickly go through the question. Question 1 here says, the radio wave used in communication can be generated by. We have 4 options A to D, but the correct answer here is oscillators. So the radio waves used in communication can be generated by oscillators. It is not B, C, or D, but the correct answer is oscillator. And this is what oscillator looks like. Question 2 says, the purpose of wood finishes is to. Option A says prevent the wood from wrapping, soften the wood, prevent the wood from absorbing water, and make the wood last longer. The correct answer is option D, to make the wood last longer. Question 3 says, the temporary construction of timber used to hold fresh concrete in a desired shape until its set is called. The answer is scaffold. The answer is not formwork, nor timbering, nor binder, but the correct answer is A, which is scaffold. And the diagram here shows what a scaffold looks like. Although this one is basically made up of metals, but some are made from timber, as the questions as contained in the question. Question 5 says question 4 rather says the process of removing dissolved gases in water during purification is what? Option A say clarification, B say aeration, D chlorination, and D disinfection. The correct answer is aeration. So aeration is the process of removing dissolved gases in water during purification. So during purification of water, water goes through different processes. One of these processes is aeration, and aeration involves the removal of dissolved gases. Another process is chlorination. Chlorination basically is the addition of chlorine in order to kill germs. We also have sedimentation, although not listed in the option, but sedimentation, for emphasis sake, is a process involved in purification of water. This diagram shows a foundation, and it will form the basis for the next question that I will ask you. And the question says, the main function of foundation in a building is to dash. We have option A to D, and option A says distribute the weight of the building to the soil, protect the building from high wind, carry the weight of the wall, and bond the wall. The correct answer is distribute the weight of the building to the soil. Question 6 says soldering bit is made up of copper because copper is a cheap material, good conductor of heat, lasts longer, does not rust. And the answer here is copper is a good conductor of heat. So soldering bit is made up of copper because copper is a good conductor of heat, not because copper is a cheap material, nor copper lasts longer, nor does not rust. But the correct answer is copper is a good conductor of heat. And this is what a soldering bit looks like. Question 7 says, which of the following is not an element of radio communication? We have 4 options: receiver, transmitting area, microphone, and transformer. The correct answer is a transformer. So I will do analysis of the question again, which says, which of the following is not an element of radio receiver? It means of radio communication. Receiver is an element, transmitting area is an element, microphone is an element, but transformer is not an element. So D is the correct answer to this question. Question 8 says, which of the following material is used to make transistor? As usual, we have 4 options: conductor, semiconductor, insulator, and electrodes. The correct answer is semiconductor. So semiconductor basically is used for making transistor. Please don't forget, semiconductor here is the correct answer because it is used for making transistor. Question 9 says, which of the following abrasive is used for wood and metals? The correct answer is what? A silicone. I believe I've explained to you what abrasives are, but I want you to make further research on abrasive. In our Zoom class, I will call on one of you, to explain what he or she understands by the word abrasives. Question 10 says, which of this chemical is most effective in making water transparent? We have alum, lime, common salt, and chlorine. The correct answer is alum. Alum is most effective in making dirty water to appear transparent. And alum is also a chemical that is very useful in water purification. Number 11 says, the main function of a transmitter in communication is to do dash: generate electricity, receive signal, intercept radio frequency, transmit electric frequency signals. So the answer is D, which means transmit electric frequency signal. So the main function of a transmitter in communication system is to transmit electric frequency signal. Number 12 says, the energy conversions which takes place in a motor car that uses petrol are. The correct answer is A, chemical to heat and heat to mechanical. Not heat to chemical or to mechanical, not mechanical to sound or to heat, and not electrical to chemical or mechanical. But the correct answer is chemical to heat and to mechanical energy. Question 13 says, hydrometer is used to determine what? Hydrometer basically is used to determine the specific gravity of a liquid. In our Zoom class, I will show you what hydrometer looks like. But for the purpose of this question, hydrometer basically is used to determine the specific gravity of a liquid. It's not used to determine the humidity in the air, nor pressure of the air, nor density of the air, but rather it is used to determine the specific gravity of a liquid. Question 14 says, which of the following is not a woodwork joint? We have 4 options: dovetail, hinges, boot, and halvings. So the correct answer is B, which is what? Hinges. So hinges is not a woodwork joint, but dovetail, bolt, or halvings are woodwork joints. So here there are 3 woodwork joints. Option A is a woodwork joint, B, C, and D are woodwork joint, but B is not a woodwork joint. So B is the correct answer. Question 15 says, the purpose of retaining part of the flushing water in water closet is to. The correct answer is C, which means to prevent odor from septic tank getting back to the room. So the main purpose of retaining part of the flushing water in a water closet is to prevent odor from septic tank from getting back to the room. Question 16 says, which motion in engineering system consists mainly of linear and reciprocal motion? That's A. Rotary and clockwise motion? That's B. Rotary and one-way motion? That's C. And linear and rotary motion. So the correct answer is linear and rotary motion. So motion in engineering system consists mainly of linear and rotary motion. Number 17 says, which of these is not a roofing material? We have A, which is asbestos, B. Plain ties, C. Corrugated iron sheet, and D. Plastic. So the correct answer is corrugated iron sheet. The question again says, which of these is not a roofing material? So corrugated iron sheet is not a roofing material. Number 18 says, which of the following is not an underground source of water supply? We have option A to D, A. Lake, B. Shallow well, C. Artesian well, and D. Spring. So the correct answer is lake. Lake is not a sources of underground water supply, while shallow well, artificial well, and spring are all examples of underground water supply. Number 19 says the process of joining metal together by means of an alloy of tin and lead is known as what? The answer is soldering. I've explained soldering in details in our class. So soldering is a process of joining metal together by means of alloy of tin and lead. So the alloy used for soldering is made up of tin and lead. Remember, we say alloy is the combination of two or more metals. Question 20 says, cold cathode emission is a process of emitting electron by the use of, I read again, cold cathode emission is the process of emitting electron by use of, we have light, heat, kinetic energy, and magnetic energy. But the correct answer is magnetic energy. So cold cathode emission is a process of emitting electron by the use of magnetic energy. Number 21 says gears, belt, and chain drive are devices used in energy conversion, energy generator, power conversion, and power transmission. The correct answer is power transmission. So gear, belt, and chain drive are devices used in power transmission. 22 says an electronic valve with two electrodes is what? Please, there are a question again. I repeat, an electronic valve with two electrodes is a dash. The answer is diode, not cathode nor triode. But electronic valve with two electrodes is what? A diode. I've shown you what a diode looks like in our previous class. Question 23 says, which of the following cannot be used to construct lintel in a building? So lintels in a building cannot be constructed with clay, but can be constructed using concrete, steel, and timber. Again, the question says, which of the following cannot be used to construct lintels in a building? The answer is option B, which is clay. So clay, among the options given, cannot be used in construction of lintels in building. A rectifier is a device used to dash. This question means, what do we use a rectifier for? So basically, a rectifier is used to convert alternating current to direct current. So for the conversion of alternating current to direct current, we need what we call a rectifier. Question 25 says, the device used to transmit motion in one direction only is called what? Ratchet. So ratchet basically is a device used to transmit motion in one direction. The answer is not clutch, the answer is not gear, the answer is not worm wheel, but the answer is what? Ratchet. So ratchet is a device used to transmit motion in one direction only. 26. The collector of electron in diode is called dash. We have cathode, we have grid, we have anode, and we have vacuum tube. So the collector of electron in a diode is called anode. 26. The following devices use the principle of rotary and linear motion except. The correct answer is plier, which is option D. Remember, we have four options: anvise, G-clamp, screw jack, and pliers. So pliers use the principle of rotary. Repeat the question again. The following devices use the principle of rotary and linear motion except. So plier does not use the principle of rotary and linear motion in its operation. However, anvise, G-clamp, and screw jack use the principle of rotary and linear motion in their respective operation. Question 28 says, the tools used in fixing rivet on metal sheet is the what? The correct answer is hammer, not wrench, not plier, not punch, but the answer is what? Hammer. 29 says, the angle of inclination of an isometric drawing is dash degree. We've done this several times. So the angle of inclination of an isometric drawing is 30 degrees. Any isometric drawing must be inclined at an angle of 30 degrees. A woodwork machine used in cutting internal and external curves is called what? It is called thicknessing machine. So thicknessing machine is a woodwork machine used in cutting internal and external curves. 31 says metal finish processes or metal finishing process which involve ornamental finisher of metal is called, we have buffing, enameling, lacquering finishers, scratch and brushing, and the answer is B. The correct answer is enameling. Enameling. 32. The purpose of wood finishes is to dash. We've done this before. The purpose of wood finishing is to make the wood last longer. 33. In thermomic emission, electrons are emitted by what? We have electric field, heat, photocell, and radiation. So in thermomic emission, electrons are emitted by heating. So heating is the process of emitting electron by application of heat is called thermionic emission. 34 says the slow movement of air due to small pressure difference is called breeze. Breeze is the answer. Moisture, hurricane, or wind is not or cannot be the answer. So the slow movement of air due to small pressure difference is called breeze. 35 says the chemical substance that is applied to prolong the lifespan of wood is called a preservative. Not adhesive, not varnishing or polish, but the correct answer is preservative. So the chemical substance that is applied to prolong the lifespan of wood is called preservative. 36. Metal finishing processes which involve ornamental profile of metal is known as electroplating, scratching, brushing, buffing, and plating. So the answer is buffing. 37. The two main types of floors used in building construction are solid and suspended floor. So basically we have two types of floors, or there are two types of floors which are solid and suspended floor. So the correct answer is option D. 38. A screw is an example of dash tools. So a screw is an example of driving tools. A screw is not a cutting tool, it's not a gripping tool, not a marking tool, but a screw is an example of driving tools. 39 says a device which controls the temperature of a refrigerator is known as what? It's not a thermostat, but it is what? A regulator. It is not a capacitor nor a condenser. So a device which controls the temperature of a refrigerator is known as a regulator. Number 40, the two ends of a bar magnet is known as edges and joint or poles. So the correct answer is what? Poles. The two ends of a bar magnet is known as pole. At this time in point, I want to say thank you for listening and God bless you all.